Hello everybody. Coming into the nature of public administration, there are two divergent views regarding its nature. They are the integral view and the managerial view. First, we shall look into the integral view. According to this, public administration is sum total of all the activities undertaken in pursuit of and in fulfillment of public policy. These activities include not only managerial and technical but also manual and clerical. The activities of all persons from top to bottom constitute, although they are of varying significance, to running of administrative machinery. Administration is concerned with the what and how of the government. What is the what of the government? It is nothing but the subject matter, the technical knowledge of a field which enables the administration to perform its tasks. The how is the technique of management, the principles according to which cooperative programs are carried to success. Now the managerial view. According to this view, the work of only those persons who are engaged in the performance of managerial functions in an organization constitute administration. And it is these persons who shoulder the responsibility of keeping the enterprise on keel and to run it most efficiently. Their job is to plan, program and organize all the activities in an organization so as to achieve the desired ends. Now the differences between the integral and managerial views. The integral view includes the activities of all persons engaged in administration, whereas the managerial view restricts itself only to the activities of few persons at the top. The integral view postulates all types of activities from manual to managerial, from non-technical to technical, whereas the managerial view takes into account only the managerial activities in an organization. The scope of public administration. There is no unanimous opinion regarding the scope, but there are two different views explaining the subject matter of public administration. They are post-scope view and the subject matter view. Broadly speaking, public administration embraces the entire area and all the activity of the government. But by established usage, the term has come to signify primarily the organization, personnel, practices and procedures essential to the effective performance of the civilian functions entrusted to the executive branch of government. Public administration does not include the study of judicial or legislative administrations, although they too share in the implementation of public policy. We study in it the actual administration or the actual administrative machinery of the state. Luther Gulick defines these techniques by the letters of the word POSDCORB, which means planning, organization, staffing, direction, coordinating, reporting and budgeting. As a study, public administration examines the every aspect of government's effort to discharge the laws and give effect to public policy. Luther Gulick gives the explanation of each and every term. Number 1. Planning, which means the working out in broad outline the things to be done, the method to be adopted to accomplish the purpose. Organization means the establishment of the formal structure of authority through which the work is subdivided, arranged, defined and coordinated. Staffing means the recruitment and training of the personnel and their condition of work. Directing means making decisions and issuing orders and instructions. Coordinating. It refers to the interrelating the work of various divisions, sections and other parts of organization. Reporting. It means informing the agency to whom the executive is responsible about what is going on. Budgeting is fixing the planning, control and accounting. Looking into the assessment of the POSCOP view, there are several thinkers who are of the opinion that this view regarding the scope of public administration overlooks the fact that different agencies are faced with different administrative problems which are peculiar to the nature of the services they render and the functions they perform. This view takes into consideration only the common techniques of administration and ignores the study of the subject matter with which an agency is concerned. Coming into the subject matter view of the scope of public administration, this is more or less similar to the integral view. According to this, the public administration studies the sum total of the entire activities of the government, that is, the executive, legislature, and the judiciary. Therefore, the scope of public administration is very wide. The branches of public administration. It consists of 5. Number 1, organizational theory and behavior. Number 2, public personal administration. Number 3, public financial administration. Number 4, comparative and development administration. And the last one being the public policy analysis. Throughout the world, the demands made by the people upon the governments have continually increased, and in time to come they would further increase. Coming into the importance of public administration, it has got a very important place not only as an instrument of governance but also as an important mechanism for preserving and promoting the welfare of the community in the era of welfare states. It has a great impact upon the life of the people as well, and it is a vital process charged with the implementation of great objective. The importance of public administration may be studied, that is, the importance to the people and the importance in a democracy. Public administration and the people. It is a branch of government that touches more directly and more strikingly than any other the lives of human beings. All people use the service of public administration almost in their activity. There are several departments of administration like the employment exchanges, industries department, medical department, agricultural department, etc., which affect almost every citizen in one way or other. With the advancement of science and technology, the problem of maintaining effective coordination between the administration and the rest of the community has become great important. Looking into the public administration and democracy, the ideals of democracy, that is, the progress, prosperity and protection of the common man, can be obtained only through impartial, honest and efficient administration. An administrator should be neutral in politics and serve faithfully any political party which comes in power. In the field of government, the civil servant must possess some aptitude for getting along with the politicians. Modern democracy has brought in the concept of a welfare state, and it has increased the scope of state activity, leading to ever increasing demands on public administration for more and more services and no undue intervention of politicians. Thank you for watching.